So back in front of the mirror because my front camera microphone didn't want to keep working, and my hair is newly washed, so it looked like I don't know what. It's still half wet and half dry, and I don't know what to do about it. But anyway, I'm looking old like always, but I'm old, so it's a case, maybe that's why. It's been a long day yesterday. When Ro got home from preschool the day before yesterday, her arm was hurting, and a bit, not dramatically, not like you think something is broken or something like that, but she was complaining about her arm, and I thought she maybe have stretched it a little bit too far or something like that. So waited and waited, but it just got worse, and she didn't want to move it, and I thought maybe she was a little bit afraid. If sometimes when she hurts herself, she's afraid of doing the same thing again, simply because she's afraid of going to hurt, even though it's no real harm done. It could be like she get this little, just it could be anything, small things that are over in a second, but she's hesitating to do it again because she's afraid of pain, and I think that's natural. But yeah, so I just let it be for a while, and I thought I could see when she would fall asleep if it still hurt then, and really it was in pain, and sadly she still was in pain when she was asleep. So early in the morning yesterday went to the hospital, and was sent to emergency, and then was sent to other emergency because we have two different kind of emergencies room, and we stayed at the hospital for a total of 8 hours yesterday, and it was a good sport all the time. She was in bad pain, but she was a good sport, and apparently sometime during her stay at daycare, her arm had been twisted, so one of the bones one of the bones in the lower arm was dislocated, and this nerves was trapped between the bones when the bone was almost put back in place again. So they relocated it, put it in the right place again at VR, but her elbow was still swollen inside, and we had to take this X-rays, and I wasn't sure if she had a fracture on it because we couldn't see a clear fracture, but it looked like the swelling of a joint was the kind that you only have if you have a fracture. So first I wanted to put on a plaster on her arm to keep it like that for a week to start and see if how things developed. But at the end, Ro was in much less pain, and I think thought she was able to move her arm in a way that was not perfect, but in the right direction. So I didn't want to put on plaster and just wait a few more, wait a day or two and see if the pain's gone. And today she's much better. So hopefully it was just this dislocation, but it, I feel really bad for her. So it was a very long day, but she was such a good girl, and she didn't she didn't fuss about anything. And I mean, to go like, is it on ear for like 8 hours when you're 2 years old? It's no fun at all. It's no fun when you're 40 either. And we just had 2 orange with us to eat, and I bought some drinks, still drink in the vending machine, but because of her allergies there are very few things she can eat when we're out like that. So yeah, that was all she had, was 2 orange for all this time, and I felt really awful not being able to feed her more. I never could imagine we would have to stay that long in the ER, but we had bad luck, something. So yeah, so that's for yesterday. And last night I had this really weird dream. I talked before, you watching this videos for some times, I heard a lot about this guy I was seeing before, and I haven't dreamed about him for quite some time, but last night I did, and it was really weird, but in a way it was satisfying in a way too, because even if the dream is weird when I'm awake, it was really real when I was in it, and it was a lot of things like pointed out of how odd his behavior is and really weird person is this. At the same time, also the things I missed about him but popped out, and it was nice and funny in a way, and it was a dream leaving me with a good feeling. That's nice also. But in this dream, I was watching. He wanted me to watch a movie with him, and we did that sometimes, and online from different locations. But we was chatting while we was watching with phones, and in the dream we was in the same room, but we didn't talk directly because, as we never did that when watching films. So that was really weird, but it was weird in a way that, you know, there's a guy, if you can make something complicated, you know, don't do it simple if you can. Complicate everything. Every single little tiny thing has to be a giant, super complicated thing. There are no simplicity at all. Everything has to be really messed up and blown up out of proportions, whatever it is when this guy around. And we were communicating. Before we was always typing on Skype, and as we're not talking now, instead I was writing down notes in a notebook, and then I took photos with my phone in my dream of the notes and sent him. And you know, when I wake, like, why the heck did I do that for? Why didn't I just type it on the phone? But yeah, you know, dreams are dreams. And there was also things happening in my life when I wanted to tell him about, like a colleague come over with this Monchichi, the monkey I played with when I was little, and they knitted pink pants for it. And I have no idea why this would be hilarious, but it was in a dream, and it was something I wanted to tell him. It was something often was the case that I experienced things in my everyday, like I wanted to tell him and like put him on pile, but you needed to wait until the right moment to tell him, because it was extremely tricky, you know, to find right moments. You never know what mode he would be in, or what state of mind, or even, I think that has to do with him, you know, making up a lot of ideas about me what wasn't real, and about other people, and living like this alternative reality all the time, which is part of craziness or madness. But it made it really hard to know in which place it was. Like other people, you know, can know, like, okay, know what page you are with them, but this guy can never know. You never have any idea. So yeah, that was kind of weird. But anyway, tomorrow it's dance class for Ro and another birthday party, and I think she's gonna enjoy it a lot. And I hope you all have a nice time, and